At the dawn of the 20th century, a new invention known to many as the electric living pictures was revealed to audiences in theatres worldwide. People gathered in their masses to witness this global revolution. This was a truly magical event, set to change their lives forever. The sense of anticipation as the theatre lights dimmed for the first time was electric, and as the silver screen came to life, it became a window into worlds never imagined. It was in 1896 that the moving pictures arrived in Cork. This took place at the Assembly Rooms, a small building on the South Mall, better known as the Assem's.
The Assembly Rooms on the South Mall, which was affectionately referred to as the Assem's. There was an usher in there. Georgie was his name, from the south side.
Removed the body.
Lovely man. And then when there'd be a western on, if there was a shooting and there was somebody shot in the scene, somebody showed from the back, Georgie removed the body.
Yeah.
I remember coming in from Carrigaline and Fultons into the Assembly Rooms and Fultons into the Coliseum. It was all cowboy films, Roy Rogers, Hopalong Cassidy, and some fellas would run out to work and the first time they'd see a film, see the horses riding towards them and fellas shooting guns. Nearly happened myself.
The first cinema I was ever in was Myers in Albert Plunkett Street.
I had one trip to the Imperial, the Myers as it's called, just to see. We had
So one of us, or 4 or 5, would box in for one ticket, slip in, go to the toilet and shove out the back door, and we all rush in again.
It was sort of made a date at a meeting place near if you picked out a cinema. The most famous, I suppose, would be Mangan's Clock. You could see people standing around leaning against the wall maybe for a half an hour. I think the ladies were always a bit late. I always remember there was a special film made. It was about a relationship between man and wife. And in the early 60s, it was taboo, sex and all that. But this was a film that the church asked for people doing lines, newly married people and religious to go to see this. And it was a 12-month relationship between man and wife, which they had a baby. And it was at that time you wouldn't go to a nursing home or allowed into a maternity ward with your wife. So everybody clattered in here to the capital, into the palace, to see this film. And there was nuns and priests and everybody here. And it was fairly alarming to see a woman having a baby and people full nude and having sex in 1960 in Catholic Ireland, and the palace showed it, and it was an unusual thing to happen in the cinema. That was around 1962. They advised people doing serious lines and married couples, and it was a sort of a religious instruction thing on sex and the no's and yeses for the whole lot. And there was people clamouring, of course, because it was like a blue movie. And that time you couldn't even buy a book off a shelf. This was full nudity and intercourse and woman having a baby there, and it was shown in the cinema.
As I say, like tops, and you kind of felt like you had to kind of dress up like one in there, you know.
This guy was a diamond, like.
Why was brilliant?
My mother brought me to the Savoy on my communion day. That's just a memory now.
Oh, it was brilliant. Come up and everybody would sing, joining the songs.
That was amazing. I used to play the music then, like, before the film started.
Yeah. Freddie Bridgeman.
Freddie Bridgeman was
There used to be a roll of drums, and all of a sudden, up he came in this organ, and whatever tunes of the day was.
Rise up out the pit. So much people, so much pleasure, you know. And what to hear, there's people singing like it was brilliant. It's where you couldn't believe it. Everybody just at their loudest. There was nobody humming, like, you know. You just sang out, and the words of the songs that he was playing would come up on the screen. So everybody automatically, you'd hardly hear the organ, you know. Everybody sang all the different songs. They were all well-known songs at the time.